Hey everybody, G4 Video 5 here, and welcome back to some more Grand Theft Auto 3. In this part, we will be completing the RC vehicle missions that you can do across Liberty City, and the way you activate doing these missions is by entering a Toys in the Hood van that is parked at a specific location across Liberty City. So this first one is located in St. Mark's, and it activates doing the mission Mafia Massacre. And, St. Mark's is a bit of a scary name at this point in the game for myself, as the Mafia are aggressive towards Claude. So, the journey on over to this point, which happens to be in the heart of St. Mark's, which is quite scary stuff there, is a bit problematic. Like, it requires some fancy footwork to get on over here to avoid these Mafia gang members wielding shotguns, just throbbing to the idea of spraying their bullets all over Claude and killing him. So, it's something you gotta watch out for. And let me tell you, I was pooping my pants thinking about a way of getting the hell on out of here once this mission concludes, because, there's two sides to the coin. You not only gotta get to this point in St. Mark's to activate doing the mission, but then you also gotta leave the place. So, it could be a little problematic there, but it's probably not too big of a deal. But a recommendation, though, would be to do this mission as early in the game as possible, so that way you don't really have to deal with the Mafia gang members and their shotguns potentially exploding your vehicle. So, yeah, thankfully the aggression that the Mafia have doesn't persist through the mission itself, as the way this mission works is that you gain control over an RC bandit that has the ability of exploding, and you can explode all over whatever you want, but you do have an objective of exploding as many Mafia Sentinels as you possibly can within the time that the game gives you. So, the reason why I mentioned the Mafia and their aggression and all that is because they don't actually attack the RC bandit, which is quite nice, because I'd imagine that this mission would be just a real pain in the ass if you had Mafia gang members exploding your RC bandit before you even ended up getting close to some Mafia Sentinels. So, thankfully, the mission does not work like that, and we were able to get 12 kills there, which is quite nice. And let's say, theoretically, you wanted to replay one of these, missions after completing them. Well, the way you would end up passing the mission on a subsequent playthrough is, let's say with Mafia Massacre, we got our initial score of 12, and if we replayed the mission, the way we would end up passing it is by getting 13 or more kills. And then you'd get your nice dollar make it holler and all that, and you'd pass the mission. So basically, during your first playthrough, all you need to do is destroy at least one of whatever the target vehicle is. On subsequent playthroughs that you can do for fun, all you have to do is beat your high score for that specific mission. So that's the way that works, and it's quite fun, I think, to see if you can beat your high score and all that good stuff, because it's just fun doing things like that. And it's not fun missing out on those double explosions. It's always painful. It's like sitting on your balls or something. Like, you get two of these gang cars right next to each other, and then you just kind of end up failing. So, man, it sucks missing out on opportunities like that. But I believe here's where I redeem myself. Yeah, there's a nice double explosion there. So, it's just where, like, you might get a bit crazy with your movements and stuff, and you might not be as precise as you possibly could be because you have that timer staring at you. So it's like you want to move as quickly as possible, so sometimes you kind of get inside of your own head and you mess up your movements and stuff. So, you get situations like that where you might miss out on double explosions and whatnot, but either way, I quite like doing these missions, not only for that arcade aspect, and oh man, there's another instance of that where you get like 3 of them right there, and I only walked away with 1 kill, so yeah, that's very disappointing stuff. But yeah, I really do enjoy these missions. They're very fun. I remember replaying these missions all the time as a kid. I didn't even mind failing these missions because there's no downside to failing them. It's not like the van just explodes upon itself, which would be quite dramatic, honestly. That's a real punishment for failing this type of mission. It's already bad enough in my case getting the hell on out of St. Mark's if I happen to have failed that mission, but for the van to just straight up explode itself, I don't know, maybe it would be saving myself some time if it ended up doing that, but Anyways, I don't know what the hell I'm talking about, so we're going to move on to the next RC vehicle mission, where we have this next one located in Torrington, next to Kenji's Casino, R.I.P. Kenji, as this one requires us to destroy Yakuza Stingers. So this one's a little tricky here, Casino Calamity, because it starts off with the RC Bandit aiming directly towards the van, which is such an ass thing to be doing. Like, I don't know why they did that in the game. Like, it's really jerkish, honestly. I think that's the word I was looking for. Like, I am an ass man, but I think jerkish would be more suitable to say in this situation. So it's like right away you have to kind of turn the RC Bandit like to the left, so you avoid running into yourself, because I've definitely been victim to doing that, especially as a kid, where I want to replay this mission a lot because I like the concept of doing this mission and beating my high score and all that. And it's like I'd end up just driving directly into my vehicle because I wouldn't turn out of the way in time, and that's kind of like where that time aspect comes into play again, where you get a bit lazy with your movements and stuff, and you might try overcompensating or whatever to try to get to a certain spot quickly, and you just kind of end up screwing yourself over. So a lot of the time I'd end up just blowing myself up and failing, and then respawning at the hospital and all that. So yeah, it's a real pain there, but these days I'm well aware of the tricks this game tries playing on me, so I turn out of the way in time, and I get to explode some Yakuza Stingers, which I suppose the strategy here, and there's a missed opportunity right there with a double explosion. I could have tried getting in between both of those cars, but I don't know, you find yourself in awkward spots because of the way the cars drive here in Staunton Island. Like, they won't always stay in their lane when they're driving. They'll kind of go onto the wrong side of the road at times, and I'm guessing that has something to do with because some of these roads are angled, so it kind of messes up with their alignment, depending on, I guess, where they end up spawning and driving and stuff. So, I don't know, it's really weird, but, my, I guess, strategy there is just to kind of, drive back and forth at that intersection, and then I usually get at least one Yakuza Stinger popping up there, and there's a homeless person chasing a thief, which is always funny, just watching the AI do whatever they end up wanting to do. But anyways, this final RC vehicle mission is located right around the safe house here in Shoreside Vale, so it's not too far off the beaten path from where you'd end up, I guess, going to anyways at some point in this game. So this final RC vehicle mission is Rumpo Rampage, and honestly, you might want to feel like going on a rampage after doing this mission, because I'd say that this mission's probably the most difficult one. Not necessarily in finding at least one of these Rumpo vehicles, but more so in just getting a decent score, because it's like these Rumpo XLs, for whatever reason, just don't spawn as frequently as the other gang vehicles do. So there's a bit of a trick you can do where you just kind of move the camera from one side of the road to the other, and then you drive in a certain direction for a little bit, and then drive in the opposite direction. You just go back and forth on this road, basically, and that kind of refreshes vehicles. You can see that taxi that was driving by us essentially turned into a Rumpo XL, so, that was quite nice there. But I mean, yeah, 1 minute has passed, and I've only gotten 2 kills, so yeah, it's definitely a tougher one to get, a higher score. I don't think you'll be getting the same amount of kills as you would during Mafia Massacre or Diablo Destruction, that's for sure. But if somebody did end up getting a really high score for this one, I'd be impressed in seeing that. I mean, I know it does just kind of boil down to RNG and just spawns and all that after a certain point, but, it's still impressive, I think, getting a decent score for this particular mission. But one more thing I wanted to point out was, you might have noticed that I just kind of wander around for a little bit as the timer starts running out for these missions, and the reason for it is because, let's say you explode the RC Bandit and there's 2 seconds left on the clock. Well, the game will see that as there being enough time for you to gain control of one last RC Bandit, but you only get 2 seconds left, and what happens is that these RC Bandits will explode when the time completely runs out. So Because these bandits spawn so closely next to the van that Claude is inside of, I don't really see it worth exploding one of these RC bandits with something like 2 seconds left on the clock, because it's like, you know, if this thing explodes near that starting position, then there's a good chance that it'll end up exploding the van that Claude is inside of. So that's why I kind of wait for the timer to run out. I don't really bother exploding the, you know, RC bandit if there's only so little time left, because the, I guess, reward of, I guess, driving around for another couple of seconds isn't worth the possibility of, you know, exploding Claude, basically. So I'd say that completes this part. In the next part, we will be completing the paramedic side mission, so until then, I will see you next time.